Hi guys, today instead of doing a simple game, we're going to do a simple part of the game. So this sort of tutorial will probably have several parts to it. Let's go ahead and create fuller tutorial as usually. On there, create instead of game.java, we'll create main.java because this is this is usually what it's called to signify that this is where the entry point is. Public class main public static void main. Alright, we've got ourselves our entry point. Now we're gonna model a gun, which we'll later use in a game, probably in a different tutorial. Eventually I'd like to move on to do graphical user interface. So, but first we need to get sort of basics done. Public class gun. So if classes are like modeling objects, possibly physical things, nouns, then methods are like verbs, and they define what an object can do or what you can do with the object. So public gun can fire. In order to fire we need bullets, so number of bullets will be an integer, 15. Private means that classes outside of this class cannot access this field, and public means they can. Public void fire, so bullets -1. We also need to make sure that we don't fire if there are no more bullets. So if bullets greater than 0, then fire. Also in this tutorial I wanted to introduce enums, which are like booleans but for more states. So if you have more than just 2 states, you can use an enum, and we'll call it fire mode.java. You define them like classes, but instead of the word class you use public enum fire mode. Let's just make up some of the modes: single, triple, and automatic. Enums are like predefined constants, so we use uppercase letters to signify that it's a constant. Since we've created our enum, we can now use them like any other types. So private fire mode, and by default it'll be single. Since we now have modes, we'd probably need a different method. So we'll create private void fire single bullet, and we'll move this in there. With indentation. There we go. So in here we can do a switch of modes. You can switch an enum like with like in any integer or string into cases. Case, single, case triple, and case automatic. Break. We're not going to do default case because we already know what our modes are, but still it is a good programming practice to sort of do a default case and make sure that even if you add a new mode, there will be something in the default case saying that you've probably forgotten to do it. So single, if it's single, fire single bullet. If it's triple, we're going to do a loop and fire this 3 times. To be more precise, call the fire single bullet 3 times. Single. And automatic, while there are bullets, while number of bullets is greater than 0, fire single And finally, we'd like to have some sort of print statement which gives us the state in which the gun is in. Print state system.out fire mode is mode string. So if you call to string on an enum, it will basically return one of these names if you haven't overridden it. So you can override methods as well. So, well, anyway, we'll come to overriding methods at some point. System.out.println number of bullets. Oh yeah, we also need to be able to change the fire mode. It's public void set mode takes fire mode. Right. Public void set fire mode. Fire mode. This mode is. I'm using the this keyword here so that Java isn't confused as to what variable, what field we're referring to, because this field has name mode and this argument has the name mode. So by using this, we're referring to that one here, and this one just is referred to the argument. And we can now test it. Gun. New gun. By default it's single, so it's gunfire, print state, gun set mode, fire mode, triple, gunfire, gun print state, and finally automatic. Alright, let's compile that. Desktop tutorial, Java C, everything.java. Right, yeah, I misspelled it. While. Can't find symbol, gun set mode. Oh, it's set fire mode. Fair enough. Okay, it's compiled. Now we can run it. Java main. So fire mode is single because we fired already, so the number of bullets is 14. Then we set fire mode to triple here, and number of bullets 11 because it fired 3 times. And then automatic mode just fired everything left in the clip. Speaking of clips, we can actually make it better by creating a new class called clip, or magazine clip. Clip.java. And this class will hold our bullets. So just making our game sort of more object-oriented. Private int bullets. And we might as well define number, maximum number of bullets possible. Private static final int max bullets. So static final int is basically the way you define constants in Java. Might as well be public because it cannot be modified. Private int bullets, max bullets. A clip. So, well, that's a really. What else can we do with a clip? Well, when you fire it, the number of bullets gets reduced. So I know public void change set bullets or something. Increment number of bullets. We take a value and then we add this to the value of bullets. So if this value is negative, for example, we're firing, then it's -1. So bullets -1, it'll get decreased to 0 at some point. Public and get number of bullets, or just get bullets. So a gun, instead of bullets, will now have a clip. New clip. Although we haven't created constructors, this no argument default constructor will be created for us if there isn't one. However, if there is one and it takes something, so it takes an argument, then this constructor will not be created, and we have to we'll have to use that constructor that we have created. So clip. Now, since there are no bullets, it's clip inc bullets -1. Instead of querying number of bullets, we can make it sort of even more object oriented and then say is empty. Return number of bullets. Because it returns a billion, we can also return a billion expression. So we're just going to do bullets greater than 0. Actually, is empty, so equals to 0. Yeah, if bullets equal to 0, then it will return empty, true. Else it will return false. So if not clip is empty. So basically replacing by is empty the one that we had, a numerical one, where we're doing kind of semantics over syntax thing. It's more readable. Again, while not clip is empty. And obviously there are many ways of doing similar thing. I think that's it. We also need to query a number of bullets. Clip get bullets. Oh, we can also reload a gun. That could be interesting. Public void reload. So the easiest way is probably just to do that. Yeah, it will be sort of a model of real world thingy, because when you reload in real world, you sort of drop the magazine clip that you had in the gun and then put a new one. To make it more efficient, I guess, more memory-wise efficient, then you could just increase number of bullets in the clip to the maximum, so as to not create a new, not to allocate memory for a new object. We will cover memory consumption and all that a lot later. Yeah, it prints the same thing, but now we have sort of a different way of representing a bullet, or rather representing a clip. And you can do it sort of indefinitely. You can have a bullet as a class and then have fields like damage. We might do that actually at some point when we do second part of this tutorial. And I'll try to move on to probably Eclipse and then GUI, because We already covered several tutorials using just Notepad and then in text editor and command line. So I think everybody should sort of understand the whole process behind the scenes. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next video, I guess. Alright, bye guys.